Good morning everyone and welcome back to our Portuguese homestead. I'm fully rested again. I'm really happy that you all enjoyed Martin's video. He worked really hard on it and I'm so pleased that you all liked it. But back to me and my sidekick Puck. This week I just want to show you some of the things that we've been doing here on the farm. Even though it's summer, it's quite hot during the day. We still do a lot of maintenance and some work as well. So I hope you enjoy. Kan je even naar mij kijken, Puck? The chickens that we got a while back have started laying eggs. By now all of them have started laying eggs, so that's really awesome. We get 3 to 4 eggs a day and that's pretty sufficient for our small family. Puck loves to help me with feeding the chickens and cleaning their house. And what I decided to do is put the straw from their bed in the compost so that we get a good mix between brown and green. Because of the summer heat, it's also quite necessary now to create some shade in the garden. So what I've been trying to do is put some shade netting, especially on top of the pumpkins, because they droop down a lot and you can see that their growth is stunted. So what I've tried to do first is create something with the long broomsticks that we have laying around, but I didn't have enough to make it sturdy. So then we decided to make it with some pellets because we have a very big stash of them. It's not very pretty, but it works for now. And the pumpkins are recovering a little bit, starting to grow some more, and they don't get so droopy now that they have a break from the sun. Hopefully this will mean that we get some more pumpkins. 2 of the plants are now producing fruits, but the ones that I put the shade netting on haven't. Over 5 jaar zouden we natuurlijk allemaal dingen kunnen bouwen als we echt alle beddengoed hebben. Alle dingen voor kruisen. Ja. So we found a nice spot in the shade by the garden, as you can see. We have some lovely cork oak and the big olive tree here, so it's quite a good spot. It's also almost the lowest spot on our land, so it's also the coolest. Even though the summer garden has barely started producing, it's starting to come in more. The tomatoes, the aubergines are growing. We've already started thinking about the fall and the winter garden. We can grow pretty much all year round. There's a month or two that it kind of goes below zero a little bit. Pecorino wants to tell you about the cabbage seeds that we got. So over the next couple of weeks I'm gonna start some seedlings, some cabbages, some cauliflower. For now we have some broccoli, some cauliflower and some Savoy cabbages that I'm gonna put in. I'm gonna try to do some succession seeding, especially for the broccolis, and then in a month or two, I don't know, we'll see, we're gonna start putting them in the ground here, start amending the soil a little bit again, and we'll see how that goes. We did have a harvest from the spaghetti squash. I took out a couple that were ready, and I also took out the last of the potatoes last week. We haven't bought potatoes in 2, maybe 3 months, so that's great, but now we know that next year we need a potato field, not just 2 rows. Next to that there's a steady stream of courgettes, as well as the tomatoes have started ripening. And the lettuce under the pallet that I made are doing really well. And so I get a pretty steady harvest right now. Not as abundant as I had wished, but there's always next year. Because the summers are so hot here, a lot of the work that we do is just trying to keep our stuff alive. So I water the garden every day, and we have planted some young trees last October, and we now water them every other day. It's a bit of a job, but we use the water that we put in the wine barrel, and then we can swim in it for 2 or 3 days, and then in that time we also feed it to the trees, so that we don't waste any water. And finally, we always make time for cooling down and chilling with our friends. So we've also been to the river a couple times, and it's just absolutely beautiful there. So I think we'll go some more this summer. I hope you enjoyed this peek into our life during hot Portuguese summer. If you want to support me and these videos and our work on the farm here, you can find a link for our Patreon in the description box down below, as well as a link to my other social media. For now, I hope you all are safe and healthy, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday.